What's up? I'm Bryan with Conscious Fitness, and in today's video we're going to be discussing how to go from skinny fat to strong and fit. So let's take a look. When you think about being skinny fat, we're generally going to be thinking of basically feeling skinny with your shirt on and maybe chubby or fat with your shirt off, right? You feel like something's not right here. So let's take a look at what that is, right? When you're skinny fat, this is where I used to be like years ago, right? So I'm speaking from a lot of experience, but skinny fat, you have more fat than you do muscle. Hence, this is why we will probably feel like if you're in a shirt, you might feel very skinny, right? You might feel pretty comfortable, right? Like you're not overweight, you're at a healthy weight for where your height is, where your age is. But when you take your shirt off, that's when you see and notice, the fat deposits, and it might not feel too great, right? So we realize there's a body composition piece to this, right? So what we're dealing with is just a high body fat percentage with a low amount of lean muscle tissue. So how do we fix this? Well, first we have to understand what the opposite of skinny fat is. And so we're going to go ahead and call that strong and fit. So the difference here, when you're skinny fat, you have more fat than you have muscle. Now, when you're strong and fit, you've got more muscle than you have fat. So when I was skinny fat, it was a matter of not having enough muscle to, first of all, fill out my clothes, but really to raise my metabolic rate. So the more muscle mass you carry, the more calories you're going to burn at rest. So essentially back here, now we're going to talk about how to go from here to here. We have to figure out what we're doing wrong in this case. So what was I doing wrong back then? I was eating whatever. I wasn't trying to eat necessarily very healthy. I certainly wasn't focusing on eating higher protein. So that's the first thing we need to think about is, number one, we're going to look at food. What we need with food, more clean food, and we need higher protein. That is because protein is going to regulate our cravings. It's going to burn more total calories when digested than fats or carbohydrates, and it's going to support muscle mass, right? So it's not only going to do this alone, right? You can't just have protein and build muscle. You have to do something else. So that's why number two, the most important thing, because number one, food, that's going to help lower your body fat percentage. When you're eating a more regular inline amount of calories that you need, based off of your daily energy requirements, that's going to allow you to get into a calorie deficit and burn some calories from your body. Keeping a high protein diet with clean foods, you're going to make sure that your body's holding on to that protein. So to build more muscle right here, we want to focus on training. So resistance training or strength training. We're looking at doing sets of 8 to 25 reps. We're going to work out 3 times a week doing these strength-based exercises. That is going to be key, absolute key for you to tell your body that we want to build more lean muscle tissue. You can't do it any other way. You have to engage in resistance training. So I'll tell you straight up what works the best for all of my clients is to do 3 days a week, full body. So that means you're doing upper body and lower body. So you're doing a mix of pushing, pulling, pressing, squatting, hinging, compound exercises, 3 days a week in a rep range of 8 to 25 reps. You do that and you eat better food, you're going to build more muscle. So as these two things are happening, we're increasing nutrition, high quality nutrition, cleaner, more single ingredient foods, more whole foods, and having higher protein. We are resistance training 3 times a week. Full body is a great place to be. Even me right now, that's my schedule for the resistance training. And then what we can do to round this out to give us an even better kind of bang here is 3, we're going to increase activity, but for the sake of this, we're going to call this cardio / activity. So this could also be just increasing your daily steps. So if you're normally getting 3,000 steps a day, 4,000 steps a day, if you up that to 7,000, 8,000, you're going to be burning more total calories. It's very sustainable. It also has a lot of other benefits like mental and emotional benefits, you know, just being able to go on a walk and rest your mind. But by increasing the amount of steps, you're increasing the amount of total calories you're burning every single day. So what we're doing with these 3 things, we're telling your metabolism that you want to have a leaner, healthier body with more muscle mass, and you're able to use body fat for fuel. So when you combine all 3 of these things, you get your nutrition dialed in with more clean, whole foods, more single ingredient foods, more higher protein in your diet, you get into the resistance training, you're working out consistently 3 times a week, full body, upper body, lower body. With that rep range, 8 to 25 reps, go for 2 to 3 sets per exercise, right? Fun things. And then we're going to increase cardio and activity. So whether that's just focusing on your step count, or that's spending more time on a bicycle, or just something that's very low intensity that you can do for 20, 30, 40 minutes at a time. It also should help relieve some stress too, right? So when you put all 3 of these together, that's how you go from having more body fat and less muscle to now lowering your body fat percentage and building more muscle. It's exactly how we go from skinny fat into strong and fit. That's the exact path that I took. I focused on these things right here. And as you build more muscle, you see more muscle. As you lower your body fat percentage, you see more of your muscles. That's what happens. It's a really, really cool process. You definitely need to do all of these, right? You don't want to just only go into a calorie deficit and not resistance train, not keep protein high, because you will lose too much muscle compared to the body fat that you want to lose. So you really, really definitely want to engage in the resistance training. Otherwise, you're going to still, you know, you might lose some body fat, but you're going to lose muscle along with it. And that is going to make you just look like a smaller version of yourself. You know, so if you're looking for more tone, more being just a bit more fit, more defined, that's where we have to pay attention. Like, okay, we know we need this to decrease body fat, but we need to increase muscle mass as well. So we got to do all of these together, and then that's what creates that full-on strong and fit physique that we all know is definitely possible for sure. And so if you've got a dream, you know, if you've got a vision, then definitely you should put your energy in, take action, and make it happen. So if you'd like any extra help with this, if you're feeling like any of these pieces particularly are feeling a little bit like stuck, you're not really exactly sure where to move, then just book a call with me. It's a complimentary call where we'll dive in and figure out how to get you unstuck from one of these 3 pieces here. Because when you can unlock these 3 things, you can unlock, you know, essentially a much more healthy, more fit, and more strong body and mind and spirit. So that's what I want to see for you guys. So feel free to book a call with me, and I'll be able to chat with you this week and get you unstuck, get you a roadmap to being that fit, strong version of yourself. Much love. I'm Bryan Bell with Conscious Fitness, and I'll see you on the next one.